What's up guys, I'm so glad you're tuning in. My name is Lisa and today I'll be talking about how the journey to Angora Crater will affect the priest class. As you guys probably know, Journey to Angora Crater will bring 135 new cards. Expansion will be live in the middle of April. But as that happens, a lot of cards actually rotate out. Some cards will be changed to go to the Hall of Fame, like Azure Drake, because Blizzard thinks they're just not healthy for the card ecosystem to be around. But a lot of cards from the old expansions will rotate out as well. So that's Blackrock Mountain, the Grand Tournament and League of Explorers. So in this video I'll be talking about what cards will leave format that will affect the priest class. So let's first talk about Azure Drake for a moment, and not just Azure Drake, because there are well, quite a lot of dragons actually leaving the playing field. Let's put up the Drake. Azure Drake is a classic card at the moment, but Blizzard has stated they think this card is just it's really a go-to 5-drop for so many classes, so they want to bring more variety into everything, so they'll move this card to Hall of Fame. That is a big deal for Dragonpriest, right? This together with some other changes. I mean, Blackrock Mountain rotates out. Blackrock Mountain had a lot of dragons in it. I'm just going to list them really quick. Blackwing Technician is rotating out. Blackwing Corruptor, Draconic Crusher, Volcanic Drake, Cormagus Nefarian, Hungry Dragon, Twilight Guardian, that's a big deal. Chilmo, Alexstrasza's Champion, Twilight Whelp, Rimrest, Agent, Rent Blackhand, and of course Azure Drake. So yeah, Dragonpriest will probably be dead when the new expansion hits live. Some people are saying, well, yeah, maybe they'll print new dragons. Well, yeah, I don't think so, because we had the mech era when back in the day when mech mage was a thing with the mech warpers. When the mechs rotated out, they didn't print new mechs either. So I don't think Blizzard will introduce a whole lot of drakes. They'll probably just focus on elementals and things that fit the Angora theme more. If you've played World of Warcraft, you'll know that there aren't that many dragons in Angora Crater anyway. But let's take a look at what Blackrock Mountain cards Priest will lose. So, Twilight Whelp, another great dragon, very important dragon if you want to combat aggro decks. That dragon is just gone, and so will be the Twilight Whelps. Resurrect is another notable card. Onyx Bishop will remain in the game, if I'm not mistaken, but this will obviously be quite a big hit to the Resurrect Priest decks which are out there. So they'll take a hit in power. Maybe they'll get some new tools to still exist as an archetype in Hearthstone, but this leaving kinda sucks for Resurrect Priests, obviously. So well, Blackwing Technician is leaving as well. Isn't in that many competitive decks. Some people actually call this a bit of a noob trap. I have ran it. It's not as good as the other dragons, and yeah, it's in the 3 slot, which is fairly competitive. But hey, it's leaving the game. That could have been a replacement from some other dragons leaving, but that's not happening. Well, Dragonkin Sorcerer and Hungry Dragon aren't run in that many decks. Although Dragonkin Sorcerer has been running some funky one-turn kill decks and stuff like that. So Blackwing Corruptor is rotating out as well. That is again a big deal for Dragonpriest. Obviously, the battle cry is just pretty good. Yeah, what can you say? Draconic Crusher, not run that much, but hey, it happens. Emperor is rotating out. Not seen in that many priest decks, but hey, if you wanted to make like a combo priest deck, this kind of sucks to see Emperor Torreson go. And lastly, we have the Volcanic Drake. I don't think that many priest decks actually ran Volcanic Drake, but hey, it's another dragon, so like I said like 10 times already, yeah, Dragonpriest is dead. So let's move over to the Grand Tournament. So we'll be losing Flash Heal. Do I own all cards? No, there are some others. Flash Heal, we'll be losing that. Not that much of a key card. It's not archetype defining or anything like that. So yeah, it loses. Powered Glory doesn't see any play at all. Confuse has been used, but there are minions that give the same effect. So if you need it, you can just slap those in. Convert. Yeah, this card is pretty slow and doesn't seem that much play, so not that big of a deal. Vermblast Agent, however, is really a staple card in Dragon decks. But yeah, Dragon is dead. Dragon is dead. Dragon is dead. Holy Champion, I just love this card. I think it's such a clown fiesta when you get the whole circus going with a metric fuck ton of heals. However, it's pretty slow and it probably won't survive a turn, so not that big of a deal. Spawn of Shadows has actually seen some play in some Shadow Priest decks, so the Shadow Priest will probably figure something out. Really depends on the new cards as well. And Confessor Piltress, that's obviously big for Control Priest. It's obviously, I think it's sad we lose this card in Standard, because you hardly see it at all, so it didn't have that much impact. But when you see it, I was always curious, like, what will it get when he inspires, you know? So yeah, I think it's really cool, really fun card. It's not too strong, so sad to see it go. So what do we have in here? I don't think there are that many neutral drops. Well, Aedis and Viola Nightbane, or Darkbane and Lightbane, I've seen some play. Nothing more than that. So not that big of a deal. And Refreshment Vendor is in here as well. I've seen some play in Reno lists. You're losing that. Tournament Medic is another card I love, but nobody plays, so not the big of a deal. Only for me. Twilight Guardian. Well, like all the other drakes, it's gone, and Dragonpriest will be gone, and this is one of the best dragons in Dragonpriest decks. And you want to discover this dragon from your Draconid operative. So yeah, really sucks to see it go. On the other hand, hey, if Dragon Priest clears the field, maybe some other cool decks will emerge, you know. Just hope Pirate Warrior won't stay dominant for too long. Nexus Champion Sarat has seen some play in Control. Like Peltress. Really like the design of this card. It's pretty cool. Not too OP, so I mean, I think probably nobody crafted this, but everyone who got this legendary out of a pack was like, oh, that's pretty cool effect, you know. Justicar Trueheart. Well, man, I do hate this card so much. Mainly because I don't play Control, so my opponents always play this. It's a big deal for Warrior as well. But Control, Reno, like Priest decks obviously run this. And it just makes catching up and getting Priest down so hard. So this is quite a big hit to Control Priests. But then again, we might see some new additions for the archetype when expansion goes live. Kodo Rider. Nazat Priest runs this. No, doesn't run this. I'm retarded. But some control lists use this purely for value, I guess. It's not irreplaceable, so not that big of a deal. What do we have here? Well, Chilmaw obviously leaves. It's a dragon as well from the Grand Tournament, actually, not Blackrock Mountain. Yeah, another big dragon leaves the field. So yeah, no Dragon Priest anymore. So I think that sums it up. Yeah, that's about it for the Grand Tournament. So let's go to League of Explorers. And let's start here. Curator has been staple in a lot of priest decks until recently, actually, when dragons, yeah, like the what's it called? Netherspite Historian took its place. So didn't see that much play recently, but has been stable in a lot of decks. So yeah, it used to be a solid 2-drop, especially in the Dragonpriest. You can pretty much run it without problems. This is like a 2-drop that's okay to play on curve, but it's not totally useless when you draw it late game as well. So it's a pretty versatile card. Excavated Evil leaves, quite a big deal. It's just pretty important clear for priests and to survive against aggro. I always kind of liked getting this when playing against priests. Like, I got a copy of Excavated Evil for free as well. Except that you obviously don't draw the stuff you put in your deck yourself. But it's another tool to combat aggro that priest is losing. So priest will probably not be that competitive right after Journey to Angora Crater goes live, because then we'll probably see a lot of aggressive and refined deck lists we already know, like Aggro Shaman, Pirate Warrior, Water Rogue and stuff like that. And those kind of decks really prey on the fact that mid-range control and tempo decks, etc., are not refined yet, and priest losing anti-aggro tools obviously only makes those decks stronger. But we'll see. Maybe Journey to Angora gives some new tools. Entomb rotates out as well. I am an avid hunter player, and yeah, in that matchup it's just standard to play turn 6 Savannah High Main only to get it Entomb by a priest. So if you play a lot of hunter, you're glad this thing is rotating out. If you're playing priest, not so much. It's a pretty cool card. I like how you can actually steal win conditions with this card. Like you can you can just put the big bombs of your opponent's deck in your own deck. I like the design of this card, so that's kind of sad to see it go. But always when this gets played against me, I was like, no, fuck no, screw you. So I don't know. I personally won't miss it too much. So certainly not that big of a deal, because, well, obviously, for control matchups, priest hero power is fine. Brent Bronzebeard though is rotating out. That's actually a pretty big hit to the class. Dragonpriest standard runs it. And yeah, well, a lot of decks get hit by Brent Bronzebeard rotating out, so it's hard to say what the effect will be. But it's Brent Bronzebeard had a place in a lot of priest decks. So yeah. Also, Elite Starseeker, that used to be, I believe, like priest was the first class people made Elite Starseeker work. Well, Warrior obviously has quite some decks with Elite Starseeker as well. I don't know, I kind of like playing against this card. I think it's pretty cool to, I don't know, just see what happens, you know, like random monkeys and legendaries and stuff. I like the design of this card, so that's pretty cool. So it's sad to see it go. You got balls when you play this card, you know. Jeweled Scarab, not that big of a deal. I don't think priests run this a lot. Ginny has actually enabled some pretty fun decks, like one turn kill stuff, create huge monstrosities and then duplicate them with the use of spells, like you double the health of something, and then Inner Fire, Divine Spirit, blah blah. So hey, I think this card promotes creativity, so that's why I think it's sad to see it go. But then again, we'll probably get some new tools when Journey to Angora Crater goes live. So Naga Seal Witch, meh. Just it leaves, just so you know. Reno Jackson, well, that obviously destroys an archetype on its own. Um, it's a big hit to, well, Reno decks obviously, because Reno decks are all centered about this card. So I think, well, this together with things like Excavated Evil and Entombed Believing the Game, and the early dragons to combat aggro, I think when Journey to Ungoro hits live, we will see a lot of aggressive decks. So you'll want to keep that in mind. And last but not least, Archchief Rafam. Then again, this is mainly a control late game win condition powerhouse card. It's pretty flexible. I think it's pretty cool. Doesn't see that much play, so I don't think a lot of people will be affected by this rotating out. So yeah, there you have it, guys, and that's what we'll be losing. Obviously, we are getting a quest card to always have in your mulligan. Well, you can choose to mulligan it, but it will always show up, and it will be a 1-drop, so that will be interesting how to affect Priest. It will also make sure you have a spell in your hand, so maybe it will affect things like Wild Pyromancer, because you can guarantee it's guaranteed use of Wild Pyromancer, especially if you have coin early on. So that might actually be something to look into if you're playing Priest right at start of Journey to Ungoro Crater, because you need it to combat aggro, and people will want to climb the ladder quickly and get legend before people figured out what's the new best deck. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time, and make sure to subscribe, leave a like. Peace.